yeah. So I had two bad inner tubes on there, and where's the other one back there? I didn't realize I had two bad inner tubes. It was like something poking a hole. No. Poking a hole. Oh wait. Yeah, so yeah, two bad inner tubes, and it's a nice day today to do some riding. But she's down for now. Car is almost there. I like this blue stuff so much. It's gonna make the engine bay pop out. Especially the Mishimoto oil coolers in the front. I think those are gonna look sick. Yeah. So I also upgraded the gauges. There's a gauge here on my door handle. Just for the fuel pressure. AM gauge for the boost. AM gauge for air fuel ratio. Wrap came out pretty sick, to be honest. It's like a bluish. That's like a light blue. Pretty much gonna have this here, and it's gonna go on the trim here, and it's gonna make its way down and eventually be on the hood too. So I think that's gonna be sick as fuck. But I went 255, 35 for the tires. For now. Now these tires are just here for now. Okay, there's nothing special about them. The used tires are probably about $60, maybe $40 a piece. Okay, but I just wanted to see how they're gonna look with the rims. I also wanted them to be, I wanted them to be balanced, and I wanted the sensors to be put in, just to get an idea of what's gonna happen. These are the stock ones. They're obviously fat as fuck. And yeah, fat. Transmission's gone. Transmission spot's gone. It's at the shop. I actually took it apart with the supervision of a tech that's been there for about 15 years. He took it apart. Psych. No, I took it apart. I took it apart, and he just kind of showed me, what to do. And he took it apart. But it's not going to be ready till Friday. That's when I'm going to go ahead and start getting it ready for installation. Got the torque converter over here. It's coming together. It's just coming together slowly because there's so much to do. It's going to be practically a rebuilt vehicle, but at the same time, it's going to have all the amenities of, knowing every part of the car is done and done the way it's supposed to be. So, whoever had it before me, I don't know. I don't care. I just know that it's going to be done the way I would like it to be done. I don't know who may own it after me. Probably no one. And so I got the third rim done here. It's got a Pirelli on it. This is the latest used tire that I had put on. Back there is still stock. That rim is still in the house. So that's probably going to be placed on next. But, gradual steps at a time. I'm not rushing. I'd rather have it be done the way I want it to than to rush it out onto the road and it not be what I actually want. So, I've been blessed, to be able to do this, be able to take the time out to build my car the way I would like it. It's step by step, like I said, it's baby steps. It's nothing major, but on the up and up, a lot of things are getting done the way they're supposed to. Now for the trunk, it's pretty empty. Nothing in the trunk. Nothing really noticeable in the trunk at this moment. I pretty much stripped it down because I didn't want to, the plastic gets all scratched up anyway and it just looks fucking ugly, so I don't like that. I took it out. Still got the Recaros there. Radio's still not determined. Still, I've got this Cash America radio in there that I had for some time, and I took that out. Yes, this is an automatic, and yes, it is actually fast enough. I just want to track it, to be honest. Not too much drag it, but drag it. Yeah, just track it. See, what I can do at the track from time to time and still daily drive it and know that it's gonna run properly. So the next things that might take place is the transmission temp sensor. These are my trans temp lines, and they're running towards the back. I just want to tap into there just to get an idea where my trans temp is gonna be. That way I am, peace of mind and knowing, I can operate it at that temperature now, just so I can know. Nothing fancy. I'm still looking for a place to install that. Other than that, heads are all completely. Heads are on both sides. Nothing crazy. Well, that's pretty much it. The AMS bumper is still here. Again, it's gonna house the oil cooler and the trans cooler. Keep the trans cool. I do not like the radiator setup of the trans cooler. And me and the guy at the trans place talked about how cars are having radiators like these. And radiators like these, and it's just nothing wrong with the radiator, but just the spot and where the transmission, what I'm saying? This is just cooler for the transmission. All right. And it's so small, and you got a big engine that needs a place to cool down, and you got that on top of that. All right, so it's all on top of each other. Yes, the transmission uses the engine heat to warm itself up in colder days. That's true. But if it's hot, it overheats it, and the vehicle overheats a lot quicker because the transmission and the engine share the same cooling system. So that's why I went ahead and went with the trans cooler, to give it more, give it its own cooling system, so that it can, not overheat as much. So, let's see here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Most cars have been done already, but I'm not a shop, so I work on cars, but I'm not a shop, so I can't work on it all the time. But in my free time, when I can, I'll order a part here for the interior, a part for the exterior, a part for the engine, a part for the trans, just little pieces at a time. There's nothing major that I'm doing. The transmission just got into the shop, and it's apart right now. And Friday, I'm rebuilding it, and I'm putting it together. And that's the next step, because I have to combine the engine, the torque converter, the starter, all that together at the same time. It's going to go through there. And this has to be cleaned out a little bit, so that can work. But other than that, that's what's going on with the build now. Forever, who owns a 370Z or a 3.7 engine? I probably know more than I did when I first bought this vehicle. So I can tell you stuff about the engine, just based off stuff right now. It's pretty much broken down to a T. Looks like a clutter, but I know where everything is at. So, but other than that, I mean, it's getting there. I just like the fact that I have new motor mounts now. For people that don't know what motor mounts are, it's just to absorb the vibration from the engine so the engine doesn't move around as much. So these are the new motor mounts. With that, matching that I'm excited about, the transmission mount came in. So the transmission mount is over here, and it's just chilling, waiting to be installed. Why the engine had to come apart? Big question. So back when I was tuning and testing and tuning, I installed some 720cc injectors. The injectors, they actually over flooded one of the engines. One of the bores, and I had hydro locked that particular cylinder, and it did one of these numbers. Okay, so it bent the rod, and so it had to be torn down to replace that. So the hydro lock bent it, and so it gave me a reason to take it apart from the head. So I was able to take the engine apart. I got the new rod in there. Piston rings are gapped. Pretty much everything is done in the engine. The engine is set to go. I'm just waiting on the trans to put those two together, and then I can start building up the engine accordingly. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. I'm thinking somewhere probably next spring or summer, I should be close enough to having it all complete. But even the exhaust, I'm doing the exhaust on it. I already removed the dual exhaust that came with it. Right now I'm running a single exhaust that's up here. The whole system, well, just the cat back. I'm keeping the original cats, I'm keeping the original headers, and I'm keeping the original white pipe to the vehicle. The white pipe's over here, so I'm keeping that. The dual exhaust is out here. Haven't scrapped it yet, so if you're looking for, if you're a 370Z owner looking for dual exhaust, it's over there. Original bumper is over there. So, other than that, that's pretty much sums up everything. Again, a little bit at a time. How much I've spent in it in total? Probably about, I want to say maybe $2,000 in parts, maybe $2,000, maybe $3,000 in aftermarket parts. But I already had an engine previously before. This is actually the new engine. No. But it's gonna be better. I caught it at a time where I took it apart right away. I didn't allow it to do what the last engine did, which was the rod went through the block. So I'm happy with the situation. I'm glad I was able to go ahead and take it apart. I was glad I was able to go in depth in this vehicle and figure out things and know things and learn it, opposed to sending it to a shop and they just kind of doing all the work and I'm not knowing anything. So I'd rather, hands-on my vehicle. I've been working on cars for some time. I went to Lincoln Tech. That's not a big thing. Experience is a big thing. But I feel like I'm getting more experience now than I've ever before. I'm digging into a place where I've never been before. But with that, I mean, it's only to gain knowledge, a lot of research, things like that. I've done engine work before, but just smaller. But it's kind of like that, but on a little bit bigger scale. Trans work I've never done before, but like I said, taking something apart, it's pretty simple. Putting it back together is it just takes a little bit more time, but it's just the same as taking it apart. You're just doing the steps in reverse, but adding things to kind of seal things up, and yeah, pretty much. So we'll see you on the next episode. I guess this is the start of my vlog. I probably won't be on it all the time. It's just gonna be a start process of it. I guess I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time. But it's a VQ motor with all the engine parts outside of it. There's no huge upgrades, just small things here and there. I'm putting together. So if you own a 370Z, if you want to know more about 370Z and you never opened it up, you never discovered anything about it, you can actually subscribe to this channel, maybe view it a couple times, maybe go back and see different things, and and see what it is that I did to take things apart. It's kind of a learning tool. If you want to know about the VQ motor and want to know about the Re7ro1a trans, just general automatic transmission, they've probably got a channel for manual transmission, but that's something else. So if you got an automatic transmission and you want to crack it open and you got slipping gears, or you got P0 this, P0 that, P07 this, P07 that, which are transmission codes, you know what I mean? Like, you'll probably be able to know, because I might run into these things. So if you want to know more about the car and want to know more about different aspects of it, this would be a great channel to tune into, because I'll be going through it, most of the components on the vehicle. So there's going to be a video of the rebuild of the engine. They have a lot of movies and videos online I've seen of how it's torn down, but none really how it's put back together. So hopefully I can go ahead and video that. You all can see that, and I'll just catch up with you guys next time. All right, peace.